What's going on, guys? It's Jimmy here with your second stimulus check update. We've had big breaking news regarding the $2,000 stimulus checks passing the House. The $600 stimulus checks have already been signed into law. We're going to go over the latest details of what's going on with the House and the Senate passing these $2,000 stimulus checks, along with the Trump veto being overturned in the House for the NDAA. I'm going to go over all the latest details of it in this video. But first, don't forget to smash the like button for us down below. Every like means a 1% higher chance that we will get the $2,000 stimulus checks officially passed in the Senate. So every like is a 1% higher chance. Let's see how higher chances can get. Also, if you're new here, make sure to subscribe down below so you don't miss out on new videos regarding the second stimulus check and the third stimulus check that has already been promised. I got some new information about that one in this video also. Okay, first up, the U.S. House of Representatives has been very busy today, including they have overwritten the Trump veto of the NDAA, the National Defense Authorization Act. The House voted Monday to override President Donald Trump's veto of a must-pass defense policy bill, the first successful override vote of President Donald Trump's presidency. The House voted 322 to 87 to override Trump, easily surpassing the two-thirds majority needed to overcome a veto. This means that a significant amount of Republicans also voted against President Donald Trump and basically voted for this act on the veto override. The action now moves to the Senate, which is going to be the big star of the show here over the next 24 hours or so, which also needs to muster a two-thirds support in order for Trump's veto of the National Defense Authorization Act to be overridden. In the end, 109 Republicans broke with President Donald Trump to support the bill. 66 Republicans voted against the bill on Monday, compared with 40 who voted against it earlier this month. Also, interestingly enough, is several Democrats also switched their votes, with 20 opposing the bill Monday compared with 37 previously. Okay, the big news on the $2,000 stimulus check is earlier tonight, if you didn't see my 8 p.m. video, the U.S. House of Representatives passed the bill for $2,000 stimulus checks, which is very important. And more importantly, is they passed it with a large majority, not just a simple majority, which kind of sets the stage for the Senate to vote on this bill and pass $2,000 stimulus checks also. As you can see on the screen here, 231 Democrats voted yes for the standalone $2,000 stimulus check bill. Only 2 Democrats voted no. So 99% of Democrats in the U.S. House of Representatives voted yes to pass the $2,000 stimulus checks. On the Republican side, 75% of the Republicans voted no, with 25% of Republicans voting yes, 44 Republicans. However, that was a overwhelming majority to pass this bill, which is considered a two-thirds votes. They got about 66 or 67% in total to vote yes. And that is more than what they will need to pass this bill in the Senate. To pass this bill in the Senate, they will only need 60% of the votes to pass it and basically send it to the president's desk to sign this into law to increase the stimulus checks from $600 all the way up to $2,000. Now, what's interesting is that the vast majority of the no's, 99% of the no's, were from Republicans, even though this whole $2,000 idea has come up within the last few days because of Republican President Donald Trump. He's the one that has started this movement, and yet his own Republicans are the only people voting no on getting more relief to the American people. Now, what this bill is actually going to do, we'll get to the Senate here in a second, when we expect the vote, what needs to happen, all that stuff, is this will increase the $600 stimulus checks that have already passed. That's already passed the House, it's already passed the Senate, and the president signed it into law. I believe it, what was it, where the days fly by so quick. I think it was last night that President Donald Trump passed that into law. That's official. That $900 billion stimulus package it's official, okay? The Treasury has already said that they may start sending out the $600 stimulus checks as early as this week or this weekend. I will keep you updated on that. In addition to that, there's a 10 to 11 week unemployment extension of $300 per week, and it also extends all the unemployment packages for the PUA, PEUC, the self-employed independent contractors, all those people that would have had their unemployment programs ending at the end of the year, which was actually a day ago, is now extended for 10 to 11 weeks also. We say 10 to 11 weeks because it was supposed to be 11 weeks in the bill, but President Donald Trump delayed it enough that we may actually miss out on 1 week of that unemployment benefit bonus. However, I don't expect it to be that big of a problem because Joe Biden says that they will be passing more unemployment extensions, eviction moratoriums, and stimulus packages and stimulus checks in 2021. So I really don't expect the unemployment to lapse. It currently goes until March 14th. So they will definitely pass a new unemployment extension by that time. Bernie Sanders says he is going to slow down the NDAA vote that was just passed in the House, the National Defense Authorization Act. He's going to slow down the vote on that so that the Senate cannot vote for it right away until he gets more votes on the $2,000 stimulus check bill that has to go to the Senate now also. Senator Bernie Sanders is planning to slow down the Senate's vote on overriding President Donald Trump's veto of a mammoth defense policy bill until leadership agrees to hold a vote on increasing the amount of the recently passed stimulus checks from $600 to $2,000. And we can see that here in Bernie Sanders' tweet. He says, this week on the Senate floor, Mitch McConnell wants to vote to override Trump's veto of the $740 billion defense funding bill and then head home for the new year. It's interesting that Mitch McConnell wants to vote on overriding Trump because they're both Republicans. Normally, we don't see that from Mitch McConnell. This is kind of a break against Donald Trump. I'm sure Trump is not happy about this. Bernie Sanders says, I'm going to object until we get a vote on legislation to pass a $2,000 direct payment to the working class. Nancy Pelosi, Speaker of the House, leader of the Democrats in the House, says the legislation signed tonight is a down payment on what is needed to crush the virus, put money in Americans' pockets, and honor our heroes. We must quickly take action to help Americans struggling to stay afloat during this historic pandemic and economic crisis. She goes on to say the House and the President are in agreement. We must deliver $2,000 stimulus checks to American families struggling this holiday season. The House just passed the hashtag Cash Act. It's time for the Senate to do the same. And I also find it kind of funny if you ever see these tweets on my screen here. The top response is always just so hilarious, no matter who it is, whether it's Trump, Pelosi, no matter whoever it is. The very top comment says, please retire, to Nancy Pelosi. The top comments are always the most funniest ones on these, politicians' Twitter pages. Let me know if you think the same. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer, who's going to become very important here over the next 24 hours as they vote on it in the Senate, which I'll get to here in a second, says the House just took a strong bipartisan vote to pass the $2,000 stimulus checks. Tomorrow, I'll move to pass this bill in the Senate. Tomorrow, literally on Tuesday. Actually, if you're watching this video in the morning, it might already be Tuesday. It could be today. Workers, families, and people are crying out for help. Every Senate Democrat is for this relief. Senate Republicans should not stand in the way. Republican Senator Josh Hawley, who's one of the only 13 Republicans we need to vote yes on this bill, out of 53 Republicans, we only need 13 of them to say yes. Well, one of them is Josh Hawley, who says, real Donald Trump tonight says Senate leadership has promised votes on bills to increase the COVID release payments to $2,000 for working people and to terminate Section 230. Let's vote. So Senator Josh Hawley here is saying that President Donald Trump has been securing more promised votes on bills to increase this payment to $2,000. And honestly, that is what we have been seeing. President Donald Trump has kind of been shoring up votes from one Republican at a time in the Senate, because remember, they only need 13 Republican senators to vote yes on this out of 53 Republicans. So remember, we have 47 Democrats. It's 45 in the Senate, but there's 2 independents, one being Bernie Sanders, who always, both of the independents almost always vote Democrat. Okay, so there's 47 Democrats in the Senate. We need 60 votes. So that means we only need 13 Republican senators to vote yes on this bill. We already know of a lot of them. I mean, Senator Josh Hawley and Mitt Romney, and now Senator Lindsey Graham. We've had several different senators come and speak out over the last several days. Remember when they passed the $900 billion stimulus package bill in the Senate, it passed with a vote of 93 to 9. So literally 93% of the people in the Senate voted for that $900 billion bill. Everybody thought that the Republican senators weren't going to vote for that bill either. And lo and behold, they ended up getting 93% of people to pass it. Remember, to pass this $2,000 stimulus check, we only need about 25% of Republicans to say yes in the Senate. We only need 13 of them out of 53 to actually say yes. And remember, they actually got that and more in the House. They actually had a 66 or 67% approval in the House. So if that same percentage moves over to the Senate, they will be able to pass this bill. In fact, they can have less of a margin of victory because they only need a 60% chance to pass this bill in the Senate, which actually could be voted on Tuesday. Which brings us to this. Chuck Schumer, who is the Democratic minority leader in the Senate, he's the leader of the Democrats in the Senate. It's so crazy how the Democrats are the one taking up the charge for the $2,000 stimulus checks, but this came from President Donald Trump, who's a Republican. So it's just like Trump kind of knows that people need help. Democrats are like, yeah, we've been saying this. Republicans are like, yeah, we are not sure. We're not sure if we want to help out the American people. But regardless, Chuck Schumer is going to try to pass the $2,000 stimulus checks bill on Tuesday. Chuck Schumer said in a statement, tomorrow I will move to pass the legislation in the Senate to quickly deliver Americans with $2,000 emergency stimulus checks. Every Senate Democrat is for this much needed increase in emergency financial relief, which can be approved tomorrow if no Republicans block it. There is no good reason for Senate Republicans to stand in the way. Chuck Schumer goes on to say there's strong support for these $2,000 emergency stimulus checks from every corner of the country. Leader McConnell ought to make sure Senate Republicans do not stand in the way of helping to meet the needs of American workers and families who are crying out for help. Senator Marco Rubio, who is a Republican senator, also came out in support of increasing the amount of payments earlier today. He says, quote, I share many of my colleagues' concern about the long-term effects of additional spending, but we cannot ignore the fact that millions of working-class families across the nation are still in dire need of relief, Rubio said in a statement. Congress should quickly pass legislation to increase direct payments to Americans to $2,000. So as you can see here, we're getting more and more and more Republican senators to kind of step up and say they are willing to vote for this bill because, again, we're in a once-in-a-100-year pandemic, and all economists say that this just helps us get out of the recession faster. It helps get our economy back on track faster along with the vaccine. The vaccine is just one part of it. The economic portion of it needs to be done through stimulus and kind of like giving the economy a vitamin C shot, a booster shot to kind of get back on track. I mean, there's so many industries that are struggling. Restaurants are just crazy right now. Airlines, travel, all sorts of different industries are just doing absolutely terrible right now. And we're going to need a vitamin C shot for the economy of stimulus to help out the economy get back on track. Economists say that it could take years if they don't continue to pass more stimulus to get our economy back on track. And remember, we have spent less than half of the other first world countries what they have spent on stimulus. So we're not leading the amount of stimulus that we've passed. This $900 billion bill that we just passed half of that money was old money. So literally, we only just passed a skinny bill. There's only like $450 billion of that was even new money. And for the size of America, that's like nothing. I mean, that's just a small, tiny part of our GDP. And again, if you listen to what economists are saying, we need that to move us forward anyways. It's like spend a little bit of money now while interest rates are at an all-time low, mind you, because it helps us get back to normal faster and helps us actually make more money quicker, which pays off the debt. We get more sales tax, more taxes, more money flowing, more jobs, more people back to work. Everybody, gets back to normal faster. Actually pays off that debt faster if you consider this debt, because a lot of people don't consider a stimulus check debt because it doesn't need to be repaid back. There's no interest on it. It's not debt that's owed to somebody. It's basically just giving American taxpayers a small portion of their money back so that they can spend it to get our economy going and keep their well-being going during this time of need. So if you ask any economist ever, they'll say, yeah, we need to spend right now so that we're not in a 2-year long recession hoping that things get back to normal. So, anyways, we're expecting a vote on the Senate for this $2,000 stimulus checks tomorrow, which has now already passed the House with an overwhelming majority, 66-67% majority. And remember, they only need 60% to pass this in the Senate. And more and more and more Republican senators are literally publicly speaking out, not just voting yes, but actually speaking out ahead of time saying they're going to vote yes, and that more Republicans need to vote yes. And President Donald Trump is also shoring up votes, also talking to Republican senators like Lindsey Graham, who he just got on board like yesterday to vote for this bill. So it looks more and more likely that we're going to be able to pass this bill because we passed it with a 66% in the House, and more Republican senators are coming on board every day for this $2,000 stimulus checks. We only need 13 out of the 53 Republicans to actually say yes on this bill. Make sure you're subscribed with the bell icon on so you don't miss out on new updates. New videos come out at 10 a.m., 3 p.m., and 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Sometimes when there's breaking news like this, we have an 11 p.m. Eastern time slot, which is 8 p.m. West Coast. You won't get a notification like that, so just check our channel, or I'll kind of sometimes tell you about it in our 8 p.m. video if I can tell that there's breaking news on the horizon. So make sure to share this video so others like you will know about what is going on with the stimulus checks. I will keep you updated. You can click this top video here to watch my newest stimulus check video next. And this video teaches you how to start your own business selling products on Amazon FBA. I have dozens of students that have replaced their 9-to-5 income selling products on Amazon, and I teach them how to do that. Click on one of those videos to watch them next. Thanks, guys, and I will see you in the next video.